Hey everybody, and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your health, fitness, mindset and body from where you are right now to where it is that you want to be. And today I want to talk to you about what happens when we get it wrong. What can we learn from it? How can we make sure that it doesn't happen again? Because today I really stuffed up. I got it so badly wrong that it's hurting me so much that I need to do something differently next time to make sure that I do not allow this to happen ever again, because the pain is so bad, I can't allow it to happen. And it can have a detrimental impact on the rest of my life because of what I did today. It's very bad. So we all make mistakes. We all, from time to time, say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, miss the opportunity, take the opportunity, but it's the wrong thing, and we mess it up. We lose a lot of money. We hurt people. We hurt ourselves. We take what seemingly is like a step backwards in our path forward. And you feel a bit silly sometimes in doing that when you mess up. But it happens to us all. And there's nothing wrong with making mistakes. The point is, we shouldn't do it again. We should learn from it and grow from it so that we can prevent it happening again. So let me tell you what I did today. So, about 2 weeks ago, I was in the gym in my home studio and I was doing these exercises called stiff leg deadlifts. If you don't know what they are, Google it and you'll see what it is. Now, I'd done one set at 52 kilos. The weight isn't important, but it was 2.5 kilos more than I had lifted on that lift for quite some time. And it was no problem for me. Second set, I got to the third repetition and I felt this really sharp pain in my lower left-hand side of my back, which is a recurring injury from about 11 years ago when I hurt my back quite badly lifting my youngest daughter. I wasn't lifting the right way and I was in the wrong position and yet bang, it was like a knife to my back. And so I had to put the weight down straight away. It was crippling pain. It ended the workout. Luckily, it was my last exercise in that particular workout. And so since that time, over the last couple of weeks, I've been just walking. I've been, I had a little bit of treatment on my back and taking some anti-inflammatories and that kind of stuff. And so over the last 2 weeks, it's been getting better. I've been doing all those things consistently, walking and getting the blood circulating, doing a little bit of stretching, using a foam roller, those things to help it get better. Now, today was the day that it's been feeling the best that it's felt since I've heard it. And I thought, great, it's feeling better. So I went to the gym, my local gym, and started my workout early this morning, and it was going really well. So I just done a personal best on some lat pull downs. I was moving over to my next exercises, which are called prone row. So basically you lie face down on a bench and you're pulling a weight up into your chest off the ground. Now, the difficulty with that exercise is that you need to get a bar on the floor underneath you to do it. Now, the gym where I train, all the bars with these weights on them are preloaded, and they're on this rack, which I always find a bit awkward to get the weights off. So I go over to grab this 65 kilo. Wasn't really thinking about it too much, apart from let's grab it, get it to the floor, and let's start working. And I've grabbed the bar, stood up, and bang. It was like two knives going right into my lower back, both sides, and it's like somebody is behind me with a sledgehammer whacking those knives into me. That's how painful it was. So I immediately put the weight down and I was hunched over, crippled over on this particular frame, holding myself up. And I thought, that pain is so severe that just breathing hurts right now, and I don't know that I'm going to be able to move away from this. Luckily, nobody came out, like it wasn't really busy and people didn't need the weights and I wasn't going to look like a complete goose saying, oh look, I just can't move. But this is how hard, this is how badly it hurts. And I thought, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to move. I tried to take a step and the pain was so intense. It was like a 10 out of 10 for sure. And so I waited there for a little bit. I'm holding myself up. I'm slowly standing myself up. So I'm kind of hunched over as I put the bar back. And I stand up and then I'm taking small steps to get away from this platform, about the length of my shoe. That's how small the steps were. I'm trying to make it look like I haven't hurt myself. And I went and grabbed my stuff, and I went and finally made it to a treadmill, and I thought, I just need to walk. I've really done something bad here. I really just need to walk and get the blood circulating, because I know that that's what hurts. Now, what works, sorry. Now, I knew I hadn't torn anything or done anything like that. It was just the overstraining in that position had put too much pressure in that particular part. So pinching on some nerves and that kind of stuff. So I jumped on there for half an hour. So the whole time, and since the time I've done it, so it's only a few hours ago since I've done it, I'm thinking about, man, why did that happen again, and how do I prevent it from happening again? And I thought, okay, so the problem is that I tried to lift this heavy weight for an awkward sort of position, which is not my natural lifting position, and it was just too much weight for me in that position. So that's the first thing. So how do I not let that happen again? Well, I need to make sure that I use a bar under the bench next time that I can load up from the ground up, rather than trying to lift it off from an awkward height, then walk it over, put it down. So start light with the weight on the ground, build it up, and then I'm not going to have a problem with it. So that's the first thing that I learned. Second thing is that, well, obviously this injury is, niggling away at me, and it means that I've got to be more careful with some of the weights that I'm lifting these days. My back has probably deteriorated over, more of the years, and it just means that I have to be more careful. So I can't be lifting heavy weights from, one place to the other in awkward positions. It's just not going to, be good for me. And so it's beating me up a little, because I thought, man, I'm making such good progress. I am into week 10 now of my current 12-week training block, and I'm making really great progress. So what am I going to do from here? So I've taken my anti-inflammatories, I've iced up my back, I've been walking a fair bit already today to try and just get the blood circulating through it, so that I can feel good. It is feeling a little better already. If I sit down for too long and then get up, yep, I've got that pain there. So I've just got to keep that blood circulating. I'll have to ice it again later, keep taking the anti-inflammatories to help bring down the swelling. It's a pain. Literally, it's a pain. But, okay, this is my body sending me a signal saying you can't do things maybe the way that you've always done them. So now you can still achieve a good outcome for your health and your wellness and everything and be pain-free, but you've got to do it a little bit differently. Years ago, when I hurt my back originally, I had to stop doing barbell squats because they were loading up my lower back too much, and as soon as I would start to squat in that position, I could do a certain weight. I could do up to something like 50 kilos, and then I would get that intense pain. So I thought, okay, I can't do that anymore. What can I do instead? So that's when I went to other machines that had my spine in a neutral position, but I could still isolate my quadriceps. So using things like the leg press, using things like leg extension, leg curl machines and that kind of stuff, so that I could still achieve the outcomes that I wanted to, but without the risk of injury. So sometimes we just got to look at it a little bit differently. This particular injury, exercise, I need to do it a different way. Deadlifts, I used to do very heavy deadlifts. I don't do deadlifts anymore because they kind of compress my spine. They're hard work on the shoulders. I've had 3 surgeries on my shoulders. I don't want to do any damage to them. I don't want to just lift heavy weights for the sake of lifting heavy weights. I want to be able to work out and love my workouts and lift heavy, but I don't want to go to that extent where I'm lifting so heavy that I'm putting my body at risk. It's not worth it. I've still got a lot of living to do, and I don't want to put myself in a position where I'm really knocked about. Obviously, my back is just something that I just need to be really careful with. Why has it only come up now? Is it only an age thing? Well, no, I don't believe it's an age thing. I'm lifting weights now that I haven't lifted before. And, lifting some of these awkward weights these weights from awkward positions is just not a good thing for me. So, it was kind of a silly thing to do. I didn't give it too much thought when I was doing it. And then in that millisecond when I felt that pain, I thought, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're making such good progress. You should have done it a different way. Even though it might have been awkward, you should have done it a different way. So let's bring it back to you. I'm sure there are things that you've done wrong. Things that you've said. Let's go with that first. Maybe you've said some things that you regret. Now, here's the thing with that. We often say things, hurtful things, for whatever reason, in our personal relationships. We can do it to our kids, we can do it to our partners, we can do it to our friends. And there's something within us, I think, that says, I'm not going to apologize for that. You're the one that's wrong, not me. I said that because you did this. Now, of course, that is one approach to be taking, but I think at the end of the day, we say things out of anger and frustration, and often we need to be the better person there so that we don't get so angry and frustrated, and we find a way to, inter-reflect or reflect internally, internalize. It's not about not saying things, but I think you need to direct that energy sometimes within and say, okay, why am I feeling like that? Why do I want to respond that way? Because the way that I'm feeling like I'm responding is actually not really a very nice way. So often I think if we've done that, we need to try and repair that damage. And that probably needs to be an apology to somebody that you've hurt. Maybe it's your kids. I mean, I'll get frustrated because of what's going on in my life. The kids will do something and I'll feel like reacting a certain way, or I'll say something. I think, why did I do that? Now, I'll tell you the best time to make an apology. As soon as it happens, okay? Like sometimes I might say, I can't even think of an example. I don't know, let's just say that I'm going to make up something. Let's just say that your child does something and say, oh, that was stupid. Why did you do that? I'll say, my immediate reflex is to just leave it and wait for them to say something. But actually what I should be doing is saying, actually, sorry, I didn't mean to call you stupid. You're not stupid. I just meant that was something silly that's happened. Why did that happen? Something like that. I don't know if that was a very good example, but you got the idea of what I'm talking about. We can say things out of haste, and then I think it's important. And when you say something, you have to say, look, hang on a second, I'm sorry. Look, I didn't mean to say that. That was just me getting angry. It was me getting frustrated. I didn't mean to offend you. It's not meant like that at all. I've just had a really bad day, or, whatever. It doesn't justify it, but I think it's about taking ownership. It's about taking accountability for what you've said and acknowledging to the other person, do you know what? I said the wrong thing there. I'm sorry. I've had people say things to me before, and the me of the past, the me of a child, and sometimes when somebody says something, you can go back to that childlike version of yourself if you've ever been bullied or you felt bad, and you can feel like you don't want to say anything because you feel like they've said something really hurtful, I shouldn't be responding to that. And that's happened to me in the past, and I have stewed over things for a little bit, and then I've rung the person and I've said, look, I just wanted to call you to tell you that, you said this the other day, And I just wanted to tell you that I think that's unfair. I don't think that's right. You know, I'm not that person, or I'm not this, or I didn't do that, or I think what you said was really hurtful and inaccurate. And, you know, just call them out on it. And that can be a hard thing to do because people don't do that. People get annoyed and frustrated and say things, and there's never an apology. And I think it's really important to show accountability and ownership for when you do make a mistake. And it's okay to point it out to other people as well, because accountability is just so important. If I think about how I help people achieve what it is that they achieve for their health and their wellness and their bodies that they want and the success that they have in their lives, the key is accountability. So people pay me for accountability. I have to make sure that I keep myself accountable. I have to make sure I keep other people accountable. I have to keep, obviously, those people that are paying me to keep them accountable, but then I also need to make sure that if there are things that I don't believe are right, whether it's something my kids have done or whether it's something that somebody else has said or done, then I want to make sure that they take ownership for it as well, because it's not right. So that's the first thing. If you've said or done something and it deserves an apology, requires an apology, it's weighing on your mind, then you need to go and do it. And I encourage you to do it within the next 24 hours, even if it's dating back a long time. You need to call the person, speak to them, or see them in person and explain why you're apologizing. Take some ownership and accountability for it, because we all stuff up. And the person you'll be apologizing to, they will have stuffed up before too. And they will think so much more of you because you've done it. Even if it's years ago, don't worry about that. When it comes to other things in your life, like your like business dealings and whether it's injuries like me, or particular challenges in your life where you've just got it wrong, opportunities that have been missed, deals that have gone bad, transactions that have fallen through, whatever it is, we've all got it wrong somewhere. I've bought equipment for my studio before that I've thought at the time it's been a really great idea, and then I've realised that actually, do you know what? This has been a big pink elephant. It's, or do you say, is that a white elephant? I don't know. But it's been a horrible idea and it hasn't worked, and it's time to move that piece of equipment on. There's plenty of examples where I've messed up in my life, but I take accountability for them. And maybe I haven't done that quickly enough in the past, but now I do, because I realise that it's part of the process of me learning, it's a part of the process to grow, and it's also an important part to realise so you won't just go on doing this again. If you don't take accountability and you just keep going through your life maybe upsetting people by saying the wrong things, doing the wrong things, then what do you learn from that? People observing can see you're leaving a trail of destruction behind you, but you don't actually learn anything. There's no gift in that for you. Well, there's a potential gift, you're just not seeing it. So we all make mistakes. I made a mistake today, and you could say, why would I be talking about the mistake that I made today? Because I work in the industry that I work in. I've been training for 33 years, and yet today there was just something that I lifted slightly awkwardly, and that's caused me a lot of pain. Is it going to destroy my life? Well, potentially I could have done some really severe damage there, which could have had a major impact on my spine. But I haven't. And I could feel embarrassed about, well, I should have known better. But I'm taking ownership for it. We all make mistakes. Just tried to lift too much from an awkward position. I should have known better. I should have done it differently. I didn't. Will I do that again? Do you think I will ever try and lift a heavy weight from that position ever again? Absolutely not. Why? Because I'm learning from my mistake. So I'm sure there are opportunities for you where you have got it wrong. There's also an opportunity now for you to take accountability. If you didn't take accountability in the past, right the wrong, get it done, feel better about who you are in taking ownership and accountability for that, and don't do it again. Learn from it. Life's too short to carry around these things, and you're going to keep making mistakes. We all do. They'll just be different mistakes. Don't make the same ones. Fastest way to success is make your failures quick, make the mistakes faster, and then you'll learn from them. If you want to connect with me, go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for a free consultation, and let's connect. We can talk about my sore back and then how we can help you get from where you are to where it is that you want to be. Stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow. Look after your backs.